Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig
Should we do a clap?
to go fly.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. I snapped.
Oh my god, we did it.
Yeah. I snapped, but I can hear it.
I mean, I see it on my
Okay.
thing.
Cute. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi.
I can see your face.
Oh, I'm like, should we tell people like where we
Yeah.
are? Like, is this like breaking rules?
This is our first face-to-face since fucking February.
Yeah. Martyr had corona. I've probably been exposed to corona, so.
I mean, at this point, it's a small gathering, so
Yes.
I feel like the guidelines are like, well, I guess they're changing right now too, but they say like large gatherings outside or.
There's something about like if you're like in a small friends group, it's
Yeah.
okay to meet. I don't know. That's
I don't
what
know.
someone told me.
We're okay. We're
It's
doing
fine.
okay.
Everyone in nightlife had corona already,
Yeah.
so whatever.
too. But hi, welcome to my apartment.
Yes. So Martyr has the third apartment that we've recorded in.
Yep.
This is the new one.
Yep.
It's very small,
Yep.
but it is closer to my new apartment.
That is true.
So that's
Your Uber
good.
ride here is so cheap. I'm so
Well, I
surprised.
also walked like 40 blocks.
Oh,
to
okay.
go to the
Well,
Lower
see,
East Side.
that makes sense. Well, anyways, let's get into our little shit show.
Oh yeah, we should like actually start this.
What are we doing today?
Who are we doing?
Who are we doing?
So we got Martyr's roommate.
Just some rando off
So
the
wait,
street.
what are we calling this episode? It's like the
It's a Halloween hangover.
Halloween hangover. And so we got another spooky bitch.
Spooky bitch.
That's how Martyr pitched it.
Um,
Spooky bitch. We got Linda Felcher.
She's Brooklyn's ghoul and I don't know, bedmite, sure. Linda Felcher.
Accurate.
Hi. Hi, Linda.
Hi, everyone.
How's it being Martyr's roommate? This is not on the outline, but
Dramatic.
It's fun. It's a new adventure every day.
I get drunk and get mad.
like, is she having a breakdown every other minute?
I mean, who isn't?
Who isn't?
I know, it's a good time to be having.
Linda was having a meltdown yesterday for her live show. but
Yeah.
it went over very well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I tend to overthink things, but it's okay. Whatever.
It worked out. It worked
Yeah.
out. It turned out really good.
Don't worry, we're gonna get into digital drag.
Yeah.
So, how has life been for you during the pandemic?
It's been interesting. Very up and down. It's definitely been just like a shake-up. Like, I felt like before quarantine, I was on like a certain trajectory with my career, and this has sort of like been like, no. No. But it's okay. Like, it's definitely, I feel like it's been a bit of a reset for a lot of people in terms of like making us reevaluate what's important. It's definitely been hard though, because I've had to like move several times. It's been very, I've had a lot of weird stuff happen in my life. Like my grandmother passed away from COVID.
Oh my God.
It's been like, it's just been very, very unstable. And finally, like in this current place, I feel like I'm finally stable. And now I can like focus on making drag again. Like I took a bit of a break for a little while during this, but I'm ready to come back. And
Yeah, I think a lot of people are in the same boat.
yeah.
At least you're still in Brooklyn. A
Yeah.
lot of people can't say the same.
For now, who knows where we're gonna be in here?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
What hell escape the city or our lives will be, or maybe like we'll, I don't know.
I really want an estimate of like how many people have left.
I want to know,
Yeah.
how many drag queens have left. 'Cause
Oh,
it's
yeah.
certainly a very high number.
I still love the queens that left and they still have NYC in their name.
Oh my god, were we talking about that? I don't know. I was talking about that with
I don't
somebody.
know.
I think it was you.
Maybe.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
it's so funny.
Although what really hurt the most was drag icon and legend Shanita Bump doing a live show, and then instead of seeing NYC next to their name, it was LA, and I was like heartbroken.
I
was
saw that
heartbroken.
too. I guess they're from LA.
No, they just
No.
moved out there.
Oh.
Yeah. They're with their partner.
LA is
Yeah.
very expensive.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. So
The one good thing that happened out of COVID is her and her girlfriend like randomly falling in love and being perfect together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I don't really know them. So
we're
I just
obsessed.
know through Martyr.
Yeah, we're obsessed. So shout out to Shanita.
So back to Linda.
Back to Linda.
So how did you originally get your drag name?
It was honestly a joke. I think Christ with a Q was just like posted something on Facebook, and we were like coming up with fake drag names, and then I just like posted that Linda Felcher, and I'm like, wait, actually, actually,
Cursed.
maybe there's something to that, and yeah.
I'm always so slow on like the intake of like what the drag name is. Like I just like finally realized it's a Bob's Burgers reference.
It's okay.
Like I didn't even think about it.
It's fine.
Like certain like names, I'm just like, yeah, sure, that's your name, whatever.
Linda, do you want to explain what felching is on the?
I mean, that's up to you.
No,
You
please
definitely
don't.
explained it in your
Okay.
recent.
Please don't.
It is very funny though when people when I tell people my name and they like recognize what felching is, because I can
Okay.
like pick out the freaks and like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, is that I don't even know like, is that like a LGBT thing or is that just a straight people thing too?
It's an explicit sex act. I would say
Can't wait
Google
to get that
it,
E.
but not at work.
Does this count as work? We're not getting paid.
I
I
guess
mean,
it
you can
depends on-
talk about it. Our we have an explicit rating.
Sometimes, not always.
Well,
Yes, we do.
Always?
Yeah.
Oh, work.
Just in case, like in case we curse or something.
Oh, work. Okay.
Which we do every episode.
Yes.
so.
well, it's basically just you know, licking comments out of someone's butthole.
Okay, delicious.
Licking. That's a new one. That's not what I heard. Anyway.
It can be sucking. It can be swallowing. Just the come to mouth from a butthole process.
And that's why this is a Halloween hangover.
Yeah, this is a very Halloween episode. We don't even have to get to our last question.
I know. Oh, God.
We're right here.
I know.
So, how would you describe your drag aesthetic and performance style for people who have never seen you?
I like to describe myself as a shapeshifter. I feel like I don't really give myself a set of rules in terms of like an aesthetic that I need to follow, but there are definitely like certain trends that like come out. Like I do use a lot of like masks that I make and puppetry, and I tend to go more toward the ghoulish creature, cryptid, not necessarily always like a specific thing, but sometimes very like Leigh Bowery inspired in terms of like.
I see Leigh so much when I see like what you're up to.
Thank you. Yeah, he was a huge inspiration for me. Yeah, I like creating like stories and like little like in my performances. I like it to be like a dream, like you're witnessing like some. So I don't want to just do a number. I want you to have like an experience. With
I
my
like
numbers.
that.
Yeah.
I wish more queens would do.
Yeah. I still think about the first time I saw you perform because it was horrifying to everybody in the audience.
What
And that was at
happened?
Bushwig 2018, I think, with the supermodel.
Oh, no, that was at
Was that-
Mrs. BK.
Mrs. BK, what did I say? Bushwick?
Bushwick.
Oh, yeah, Mrs. BK. Excuse me. And you did supermodel from Clueless, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was super slow down, and you had like a demonic mask on, and then you had an enema underneath the mask, and you squirted, and the blood got everywhere
Oh
in
my
the
god.
audience, and people were like,
Pissed.
people were either like amazed by it or like pissed off by it. I was like, that's how you do a performance.
Very Brooklyn.
Yes, that's the thing that sticks in my head a lot
that.
about you.
Thank you.
We'll definitely talk more about that in our second section. So where are you from originally?
I'm from Long Island, the town of Massapequa.
Oh, it's nice over there.
Yeah, it was interesting growing up there.
Is that a conservative area in Long Island?
Yeah, it's really weird. 'Cause you would think that being like it's only like a half hour outside the city. You would think that it would be more like liberal. Nope, 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 nope,
Well,
nope.
I always say, because I'm from Staten Island, I always say Staten Island and Long Island are the same place with
Yeah.
some people. And like Staten Island's so conservative, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's really weird. There's definitely like weirdos out there, but it's like it was always like definitely hard to like create any kind of like community out there. I don't know. As soon as I like graduated college, I had to like go back, and it was just like so like it like having group of queer friends for 4 years and then like living 2 years without like any of that,
Yeah.
or having to like come to the city like whenever I wanted to like just be myself was like it was hard. So
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
yeah, but I'm here now, so
Yeah, you did it. You got out. No, it's hard. It's hard to get, even though it's like so close, it's still like so far.
You
I
both
feel
got
like.
out. You both are islanders.
I know.
yeah.
I finally got out this year, so I'm still voting in Staten Island because my vote actually matters there.
Yeah.
Like it's actually important.
Me
there.
with Florida.
Yeah,
since it's coming out
exactly.
in early November, kids go vote. Thank you.
Oh yeah, this is coming out before the election, so the world hasn't ended yet. So go vote.
Go vote.
You can make the world not end. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how Russia thinks.
Oh my God.
So I know you studied a lot in performance art.
Mm-hmm.
How did that affect how you perform today?
It definitely like helped train me. Like, even though I've only been doing drag for about 4 years, I've been a performance artist for like a decade. So
wow.
yeah, so it's definitely helped inform everything. I feel like drag is just sort of like the evolvement of what just naturally happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was always something that I've been interested in since my childhood, and yeah, like performance art and studying that sort of freed me from
And you studied in college, right?
yeah, I went to SUNY Purchase.
Oh, that's a good school. That's a good school.
Those purchase kids. I swear to
Yeah,
God.
they're all very artsy. It
a
makes
lot
a
of
sense.
and a lot of us queens are from there.
Yes, I forgot about that. Literally, like everyone from Brooklyn
Basically.
is from SUNY. I forgot about that.
But yeah, it was definitely like I started out as like a visual artist, and that sort of I feel like it all sort of drag sort of combines everything that I've learned throughout my life into this.
Are
So.
there any like themes that you've focused on, like that have carried over?
Yes, actually, like paying attention to the audience or interacting with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my early performance artwork was kind of creating scenarios that the audience would have to like participate in. So sometimes I incorporate that into my numbers, but even if it's not, I'm still like, I'm thinking about how the audience perceives my work. Because that's not always true with performance art. Like, there's a lot of performance art that's like completely like,
They don't care.
yeah, but that was always something that was always really important to me. Like, I think that's what is so. There's one of the like major factors or benefits of performing live is the audience is an integral element, and yeah. Just
Well, the funny thing, I agree like 1,000%. That's like one of my biggest critiques with like drag in general is if like the artist doesn't care about the audience experience, because it's a symbiotic relationship between like audience and performer.
Yeah.
But a lot of performers just care about themselves and they're not really thinking
yeah.
bigger picture.
That is also what's so interesting about digital drag is that like it is such a different format and different mode of creating work than performing live. There isn't that like instant feedback or that same kind of energy exchange that happens. I mean, I actually do really love making videos, but it's a very different process, and it takes a lot more time and energy to make something satisfying in that format, whereas like performing live, you can just like come up with something, and it can be like not polished, and it's sort of like a test run. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of perfect it, but digital drag, it is. Though I feel like live shows are kind of like an anything goes kind of
Yeah.
situation. But I think if it's like pre-recorded,
Yeah.
it's more like tailored.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you, I don't know if you want to get into this, but you consider yourself gender fluid.
Yeah.
Is that the term? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're gender fluid. How has that affected your art as a drag artist?
Oh, I don't even like. I feel like it's so like entwined. Like, I guess just the idea. Like, I very much like the term shapeshifter because I feel like that's sort of how I go about life in general. Like, I don't really ascribe to any particular rules with the way like my gender or like the way I perform. Like, I feel like whatever I'm feeling is just sort of like that's it at the time. Or
Do you ever have like a critique on gender and like the binary system?
yeah, I think that it's all like very personal. Like, for me, I don't feel like I don't feel a connection necessarily to any sort of gender role. And that's something that's like been ingrained with me since I was like a kid. Like, I never understood like why I was being separated from the other sex, quote unquote.
Yeah.
That like I didn't understand why I was, forced to do certain things or act a certain way. Like, it was all very like arbitrary. And like luckily I grew up in a family that was generally accepting. Like 90s people still like didn't understand everything, and parents always make mistakes, and like that's fine. But it's nice to like grow with people who are willing to learn, and I'm still learning about like how I feel about my gender and stuff, and I feel like that's a good rule for a lot of people is like, we're all in flux. Like, there are definitely people who have a very like clear idea of like who they are, but it's also okay like to not know, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a long journey
Yeah.
for all of us.
Yeah.
Even people who think they know. I think the people who are like the most convicted about how they feel are probably like the ones who are probably questioning themselves the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we don't know. So the last question for this section is, how did you get into the drag scene in Brooklyn?
That was interesting. It was definitely a lot having to do with like how I said, like my name, like being friends with Christ was sort of even like they were one of the earliest people to book me for their show straight to DVD. But that wasn't the first show I was in. My first show was in a DIY drag and harsh noise night called Harsh Noise Beat Face. That was produced by Reagan Holiday, who is now a Philly performer. And they're a very good friend, also from Purchase. And
Purchase takeover.
Yeah. But I feel like when I first moved here, there was a lot more, at least in the Brooklyn scene, there was a lot more interchanging between like the queer music scene, drag, experimental comedy, performance art. There was a lot more like there was a lot more communication, and also in the DIY scene, there was also a larger DIY scene, and because of the past few years, a lot of those closures, I think that's sort of why partially there has been more of a, I don't know, compartmentalizing. Maybe also the increasing rise of Drag Race even though that's been for the past decade. But I definitely think that always there is a noticeable change though within the past like 4 or 5 years though.
When did you move to Brooklyn?
2015,
Okay.
4th of July, 2015.
Did you see any like
How
performers
American.
before like they made it?
Oh yeah. The like actually even before I moved, I would come to the city a lot. And a lot of my close friends were in like the comedy scene, so I would go see like Julio Torres and Ana Fabrega, and Spike Einbinder and like and Lorelai Ramirez, and that was sort of like my like inkling back into performance. Like I wasn't really performing then. I did some performance art things here or there, but nothing big. But like first it was like the comedy scene that I would like go to a lot, and it's wild to see how much they've risen. And then yeah, I got more into the DIY scene, and
I've never even heard of the DIY scene. You have to explain that to me.
it's very like I guess it's kind of underground.
Is
it's
that
just-
like clubs? Like where do they?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like a
Okay.
lot of those spaces closed down, but a lot of
Okay.
like noise and a lot of like I feel like like for instance like I didn't go to bath salts that much because I sort of like went in on I literally went to their last show and their first and their reunion show, which was a month later, but that was really informative of my drag.
That's good.
Yeah, like Macy Rodman, she's awesome, and I don't know. It's like it's so wild to like think about.
It was Brooklyn was a very different place because that's
Yeah.
also when I kind of got involved with Brooklyn I think,
Yeah.
as well. So
I think the wildest one, like I didn't was seeing like Sasha Velour's rise to glory. Like I was a fan of her work before she was on Drag Race, and like it was funny because like I think that year I'm like, oh, if there was a queen I would love to see on Drag Race, it would be her, and she was lo and behold on the next season and was very successful. I didn't really know her though, but like a lot of my friends know her, and that was really wild just because I don't know, I was very impressed with like I like got her,
Yeah.
like her the way she thought of drag. I very resonated with the way I think of drag as a visual artist who like sort of
I think she's kind of able to take more abstract concepts and just make it mainstream.
Yeah,
which is like so hard to do. So
yeah.
good for you, Sash.
Yeah, that's really wild. I don't know, like I need to think about it because I don't know. It's so wild because New York is just like there's all these people in the industry that you can like see or meet, and they're just like there, and it's just wild. But I mean, just like they're just people. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's more to mine, but
all the Brooklyn and Manhattan girlies that like are famous now, they're pretty chill.
Yeah.
Like, just seeing them are, like about, but it's also like special to be like, oh, they complimented me tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But
They're still around. Also, like, whenever someone's like, we all know they're on like Drag Race or whatever, Dragula,
Yeah.
but you just see them around. You're like,
yeah,
we know.
we know.
We know.
Saw you at the vault, girl.
Yeah, no, like the vault.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Oh yeah. Also, come to mind, Bacala. Like I knew Bacala through Colin Self, who is really important. Like I didn't have a drag mother, but I have drag mentors, even if they didn't realize it. But Colin Self was definitely like a huge mentor toward me because they organized like this like this experimental vocal ensemble that I was a part of and sort of still am. It's sort of like mutated because they moved to Berlin and stuff, but like being part of that kind of like helped me get comfortable performing again. And well, Colin and Bacala, I think were partners at one point, but like so I think Bradley is their name, would just be in the scene a lot, and that's just wild seeing someone who like would just like make costumes for their friends, and then I was like making costumes for like celebrities and stuff as well.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Especially over here. It's
Yeah.
Yeah. it's just like, oh, there they are on MTV,
Yeah,
you know, like stuff like that.
Yeah. But I didn't know them super well, but it's just like one of those things where like, oh, you see all these people in the scene all the time, and then like they
They're
ascend.
successful, yeah. Good for them.
Yeah.
I think we should take a little break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the J train keeps passing
I
by.
know.
Yeah.
I want to know how it sounds on the audio. I'm sorry, guys, if this annoying ass train keeps.
We'll
It's
be
part of the
right back.
ambiance.
We'll be right back.
I mean, that's how you know we're in Brooklyn.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig to
Three.
go flying.
Am I
Two.
supposed to clap?
1.
No. I mean, you can if you want.
Okay, that one I'm pretty sure.
Ooh.
I love that you included the claps in.
Oh, yeah.
I
Because
was
we were
just
like
like,
talking.
wow, we're so professional.
We were talking during it, so I was like, okay, you know, these kids can get a little
I mean,
behind
it
the
is
scenes.
funny. I feel like we're not trying to be like fancy.
I think this is my approach to editing. I feel like if it has a natural feel, I'll keep it in.
That's good.
That's why I keep in some of your like, we can cut that out, and then like 3
I
seconds
know,
later-
which gets me pissed off every time. It's like, fuck, Martyr.
Because you say it, and then I'm like, well, fuck, Caitlin, now I have to do that.
But I know you would keep it in anyway, so.
Usually, if you wouldn't say it, I would have taken it out. But since you say it, I keep it.
Fucking hate
Because
you.
there are stuff that I'm like, okay, yeah, I should take that out. But usually it's
Only
like
if
harmless
it's like
shit.
super defamatory. I
Yeah,
think that
usually
should
it's like
come out.
harmless shit, and I'm like, who cares?
No one's listening anyway.
Welcome back.
I was like, no one, like every time I think about like recording an episode, I'm like, no one's gonna listen to this. But then I'm wrong. Somebody
Yeah,
listens.
someone listens.
I don't know. It's not me.
We get reviews every once in a while.
Yeah, our 1-star review on Apple iTunes. I don't know who did it, but I certainly added a lot of 5 stars after that from random devices to get it back up.
Oh my god, that's cheating, Caitlin.
Well, like we have so like few listeners that it doesn't matter.
I think it only brought us down to like a 4.75. It wasn't a big
Yeah,
deal.
I was just mad. I was like, how dare you give us a 1
If you
star?
give us a 1-star, please leave a comment. At
Yeah, I
least.
want to know why it was a 1 star. Like, what part were you like, this is it?
Yeah,
This is the 1
this is
star.
This is the part. We get it now. I don't know. Anyways, we're back.
We're back.
We're
okay.
talking.
We're back.
We're back with Linda Felcher.
We're back with Linda.
I'm so glad none of y'all clicked away. But we were talking about this on the break a little bit, and we got
Yeah.
a little bit of a rant. But digital drag, Linda, you've been doing it. I helped you with the performance last night.
Yes.
How has that been going for you overall? Are you enjoying it? Do you think this is the future of drag?
It's interesting. Where do I begin? I do. I think I like making pre-recorded videos more than doing like these like live streaming shows, just because I feel like a lot of the live stuff, there's a lot of uncertainty and with technology and connections, and you put all this work into it, and sometimes it doesn't come out the way you want it. Whereas when you're making a pre-recorded video, it's kind of the opposite. Like, you're putting a lot of thought into it, and I really enjoy the process of making videos and constructing stuff and editing. But it definitely takes a lot more time and energy to, put out content that you're really proud of with that. So it's definitely a different mode of making performance. I actually, during quarantine, I've kind of gone back and forth. Like, I was making stuff a little bit in the spring, and then I had to move, and then I didn't make anything until June, and then I've just been on hiatus until like literally like the past few weeks, because Halloween's like my favorite time, and it's usually the time I get booked the most. So I've just been coming up with more content and ideas, and I have some things that I'm coming out with the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned.
You could tell us what they are. Okay. It'll be out already.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. Well, last night I was part of this like my friend John. He's like this like porn review show, and they'll take like experimental porn, and we'll create like little skits or stuff out of it. So
Calling the church.
the one we reviewed was called Cafe Flesh, and it was about like this like post-apocalyptic like sex club where you were either a neggy or a posi, which means like neggies because of radioactive fallout, like most of the population became asexual, except for like the very small population that is still sexual. They would have like they would be forced to perform at these like sex clubs. And so I made a number inspired by that. It was actually for like a porn. It was like really like thought out, and like it was like a real cinematic, really interesting cinematic like world building that I was like really impressed with.
R/porn with plot.
But so I had this idea. I wanted to do like an erotic kind of number, but knowing the like restrictions of like Instagram Live and stuff, I know I couldn't like do anything too explicit. So I don't know. I thought of making this like sentient glory hole thing. So, so yeah, you can see.
Oh, that's what that is. I was wondering.
So I made all these like cutouts, and I edited like my eyes and my mouth to project. I have a projector, and I projected it, like did a rear projection thing. So I was like lip syncing through it, and yeah.
We're looking at a cardboard cutout. What
It's
is
like a
this?
science board you used
Yeah,
in
it's like the
fourth
science
grade
boards back when we had like science projects.
But made
to be sexy.
Yeah.
But there's like holes cut in it, and then there's like pink tape around it.
Yeah.
And that being a glory hole, I can see.
I feel like that's a lot of holes right next to each other.
Yeah,
for a
there's a
glory
lot
hole.
of holes going on.
But you know, it's a weird apocalyptic future. Maybe people have like 5
maybe
dicks.
there's
We
like
support.
lots of different.
Yeah, and like, what is actually,
Appendages.
who's behind that? What is behind, like, I don't know.
Kind of reminds me like Futurama or something.
Oh my god, yeah. Me and Linda are in a show that just premiered,
What?
coming out, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're doing Cats with Emmy Gray.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! Because Martyr's been so obsessed about the new Cats movie
It's
since
a train
last
wreck.
year.
It's a train wreck. I love that
So
movie.
the fact that this is happening, I was like, oh, this makes total sense.
I didn't get the role I wanted, but I got a role I can do something with.
Yeah.
Who are you playing? Who are you both playing?
I'm playing Skimbleshanks, the railway cat.
The railway cat.
Well, that's perfect. You live next to the
Yeah,
subway.
actually.
I know, right?
Literally just film right
Yeah,
over there.
honestly. I mean,
I am Asparagus, or just Gus, the theater cat. I'm waiting for some props to come in. I haven't recorded my video yet, but neither of us have. But
I'm so excited. When is this happening?
it's on Halloween night.
It's over then.
Yeah.
It's at 7, I think, 7 or 8 Eastern. I think it's gonna be on Twitch. But-
I might actually watch that because
it'll be fun.
I just want to see
Yeah,
it.
it's gonna be chaotic. I'm excited for it.
It's a pretty big like cast too. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people doing it.
I don't know. It's gonna be cursed. Let's just say
Yeah.
that. Do you think it's gonna be as cursed as the 2019 movie?
Oh.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
I mean, it is 2020
Yeah.
now, so like, how
We'll
much
see.
more cursed can you get?
And
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And then I just have a few other things. Like I submitted a video for this haunted hard drive show of a video I made back in April. It's like a spooky, like Hellraiser themed thing where I have like my eyes sewn shut, and
Ooh.
then there's this other spooky thing where I'm like a Kate Bush ghost that I'm currently working on.
Well, so that goes into our next question. So whenever I talk about you to other people who don't know who you are, I'm just like, it's Kate Bush.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like,
thanks.
you know, haven't you seen Kate Bush run around in drag? Like,
It's
that's
probably
Linda.
me.
And then I just show everyone your videos. So how did the whole Kate Bush thing start?
I don't know. I've just always been a fan of her work. A lot
What's
of my
your favorite Kate song?
Oh, I can't. The Dreaming, the whole album, The Dreaming. That's how I'll answer.
I think I play your least favorite one, or at least the least favorite video a lot. 'Cause
Wait,
it's my
which
favorite.
one?
A Woman's World or Work.
No, that's one of my favorites too. But
Every
love
time I
that
put the video
song.
on,
I've
you're
never
like,
even
that's
seen
so
the video.
sad.
it's like I like I need to be emotionally prepared.
Yeah, no, Sasha's version of that I've cried at many a time because it's on YouTube.
I love that song. So
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's a good song.
But yeah, I don't really know the moment where I was like, yes, Kate. What was the first Kate number? I think it was my Babushka
Ooh.
number. For
was that Anime?
yeah, at Anime, Black Ladies, Anime, it was like witch themed, so I was gonna do You Baba from Spirited Away, but the whole reveal was like I'm like covered in like a black shawl, and then a reveal, and then it's like a little puppet body under me because their proportions in the movie is like giant head with like little body. So I think that was the first Kate Bush number. But I don't know. I've always been a fan of her work. The past few years, though, I've just become more obsessive.
I feel like you're just always running in a field,
Yeah.
doing Wuthering Heights somewhere.
Babushka being your first performance is very surprising because like Wuthering Heights is like the one I think of because like
Yeah,
she'll
I
fucking
think
do
that's,
it
like,
in
the
the
one you're
living
known
room.
for.
Yeah.
She'll do the fucking performance in the living room with the songs on.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, well, there was like one when I did that number. I was going through like a really like dark time in like the winter, and like I was unemployed. I was like really depressed, and like I was booked for like a video, like a show, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I want to do this. I want to learn the choreo. So I practiced the choreo every day for like 2 months, and like I've taught it myself through like YouTube tutorials.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And so like I don't know, I feel like I got that number down pretty well. And it's very funny, like whenever I really love like recently I went to a show,
Garden Pick.
yeah, Garden Picks that Mother Teresa and Lauren put together for the Femme Defense Fund. And Anti-Heim, I think is, yeah, Anti-Heim did Wuthering Heights, and everyone was like, a lot of people are like, does Linda approve of this? I was in the audience, and it's fine. Like, sure. Like, it was actually really funny. I don't know. It's very funny. I don't know. I'm not like the authority of Kate Bush.
Yeah,
just
I
love
feel
her
like a lot of queens have done Kate Bush over the years.
Yeah.
She's pretty like prevalent.
Yeah, she's like, I just love her. Like, she's campy, but in a very like ethereal, and she's also like just seems like a very nice person. Like, I don't know. Like
She's such a recluse that we would never know.
yeah,
you
that's
know?
true. She could be like a crone. I think
She
her
could be.
house. I think her house is falling into the sea, from what I've heard. Or
Yeah,
something
she
like
like
that.
lives in the middle of nowhere
But I would.
somewhere.
But I mean,
That's on brand for her.
Yeah.
Her house
No,
is
I
falling. Yeah, that
100%
makes sense.
approve. She was quarantining herself before
Yeah.
the pandemic.
Icon.
honestly, like life goals, just be a old witch in a house that's
Hell
falling
yeah.
apart. So I don't know. I wish her well. Hope to maybe meet her one day, but who knows? But yeah, her like I don't know. Her work is just like I also get like a lot of like visuals from her music. And that's what really draws me to like the music that I perform is they give me a lot of like mental images, and then that's sort of like what I want to recreate in my performances. So
Yeah, I think she has like a lot of depth with the lyrics
Yeah.
and her videos too. Obviously,
You have
Yeah.
synesthesia, right?
Yeah, I have like I don't know the degree of it. When I was younger, I think it was more intense. I have it where it's like it is much less. It's more like I have associations with like letters, numbers, and like colors. Um, like that's like the only way I can remember like number combinations is like they are different colors in my head. When I was younger though, is definitely like weirder thinking about it, like different like I from what I understand is I'm very like sensory sensitive in a lot of ways. Like sounds and smells and tastes like I just I'm very sensitive to those things. And when I was younger, there was like, I think more of a blur. Like I remember like watching cartoons and then like tasting the colors and like weird stuff like
Whoa.
that. But now I don't really have that.
I have colors, or I see colors when I listen to music. That's like the extent of my synesthesia. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Yeah, I would say like definitely sounds have like like I don't. It's when I was younger, I definitely experienced what you were saying more. Now it's I don't know. Maybe getting older, you just get numb to everything. I don't know.
Well, I feel like living in New York would have to like really like.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your head would explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so much sensory overload here.
I've learned since we've been recording, the train has passed us by at least 20 times, but like sometimes I just sort of like ignore it and like I don't even realize it's there. So.
Well, like once you're around a train like long enough, you just stop hearing it.
Yeah. When we like the first week we were here, it was definitely like a lot, but now I'm like, okay, whatever.
It kind of sounds like an ocean wave.
Yeah.
No, I know. No, I know. I've had friends who lived by like trains before, and
Yeah,
like
I don't hate it anymore.
Yeah.
it's just like part of the ambiance.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit before about Leigh Bowery. How have they inspired you? Like any specific looks, any performances?
I mean everything. There was I saw the documentary that Charles Atlas made of him
I did as well.
back when I was in high school, and
Oh,
that
wow.
literally like changed everything how I thought about art. And I've like that sort of like I think started. I mean, I've always like had like a secret desire to perform and like dress up and stuff, but like that was like the moment where like, oh, I could actually do this. But I didn't really start like sewing and making my own stuff until much later, maybe like a decade later. But yeah, I don't know, just like not giving a fuck and like completely deconstructing people's expectations with form and gender. And I mean, he was super problematic though, and I think that needs to be said. Like,
How?
if you
I don't know.
he did
What'd he
some
do?
like racist. He did some like blackface looks that are like.
Did he? I didn't even
yeah.
know this.
Yeah, he did some like Nazi imagery in some of his work, and I think that needs to be stated because like but it was also like during the 80s there was like this huge like edgelord sort
Yeah, it was
of.
more like being subversive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's really like it didn't age well. Not great.
I
But
think at the time they were just trying to push every boundary.
yeah. But despite like I definitely like saw like the good like the interesting aspects of his work definitely like resonated.
I think he definitely like created a blueprint for a lot of artists.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't even realize how influential like his work has been.
Oh, I know. I didn't realize it until I watched the documentary either.
Yeah. And I think that's what I really appreciate about the documentary is it kind of shows his ugly side too, because I feel like a lot of documentaries will maybe shy away from like people's flaws and and I've actually met Charles Atlas before too, and he was really nice. And he's a video artist, so that was also really interesting that, you know, a video artist that he worked with was making a work about his life was kind of cool. Yeah.
I think you're definitely like a very original like performer. What advice would you have for like people to try to be more original, like stand out?
Ooh.
Quit.
I mean, that's already happened, so.
Yeah. That's really hard.
Like, where do you get inspiration from? Like, maybe they could have like
everywhere.
everywhere.
I would say like do what feels right. Don't worry about like holding yourself to certain ideals or standards that like maybe other people in the, because especially when you're starting out, I think it's important just to like make shit and do shit, even if it's ugly, even if it's stupid, even if it like fails, because that's the only way you're gonna like learn. Yeah, I guess be comfortable with failure.
That's important in anything.
Yeah, and like stick to things that like you enjoy. Like don't like, if you're not like, I'm not someone who's like, I have like a certain interests, and like the music I listen to isn't necessarily like what everyone listens to. So I don't know. I think it's just like stick to things that you like. Someone else is gonna like it, and yeah, just be true to like your interests, and yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Like, to be honest, like I give a lot of credit, like even though I'm like a ooky spooky weirdo sometimes, like I give a lot of credit to girls that like try to do very like polished, you know, glam looks. I don't know if I can do that, like maybe eventually, but like I give a lot of credit to like the artistry in that. It's just, it's different, and that's okay. Like we like, that is also what's great about Brooklyn, is that it is so varied, and you can be on a booking with like a very wide array of like kinds of drag, which is cool.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
I think on that note, we'll take a little break.
Okay.
Sure. We'll be right back,
We'll be right
kids. Bye.
Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I know, wig. I feel that already. Wig, okay. Wig, did you just say wig? Wig, okay. I am ready for my wig to go fly.
Oh
There
my
we
God.
go.
We can only do this in person.
I know.
I don't know why. Oh my God.
My Kate Bush impression.
That just woke me up.
Yeah, you're welcome. I really want to do a performance with Linda while she does her Wuthering Heights dance, and it's live vocals from me with my Kate Bush impression.
I would watch the hell out of that.
Stay
my God.
tuned.
Stay tuned. That
my God,
curse
please
is
do
probably
that.
coming.
You guys should just do like a whole digital drag.
Oh my gosh. Where we switch
Show.
live vocals.
Oh
You
my
do Sufjan
God.
Stevens, and I'll do Kate Bush.
Okay.
I'm
Cursed.
100%
Blurst.
for that.
Blurst. Okay, we're in our last little segment.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Thanks.
usually I ask queens if they want to be on Drag Race, but
Mm.
I'm not asking you that question. I want to know, would you be on Dragula?
I would consider it. I don't know if I'm like at that point in my, I don't know, like we watched the Resurrection last night, and Martyr pointed out like how much artistry goes, like these girls like put into their stuff. I feel like I'm not at the level where I am comfortable, where I'm like, okay, you have to like make all these looks in this short amount of time, or like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know
Would
if
you
I'm.
collaborate with other people, like other like designers?
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean,
were on the show.
I think I do know enough people that I think would be willing to like help me out, or I could pay to make stuff. But like, I don't know if I'm ready for that mentally.
Yeah. Well, for me, Dragula, what kind of turns me off a little bit is just it's like kind of typical reality when they're
Yeah.
not like performing; they're all just like being bratty to each other.
Yeah,
What
that's
the
also
fuck is Drag Race then?
No, it's the same thing.
Okay.
I don't like that either.
Yeah.
That's why I don't really like Holland, but I kind of like Holland because it's so short that they can't really go crazy into like
Oh.
fake drama.
I literally haven't watched. An
yeah, we
episode.
haven't watched it yet.
Well, you have my account.
Yeah, we
so
have your account.
There's no reason not
I
to.
think we're just a little burnt out after Canada.
It's
the-
so much.
The
There's
one
so
thing I like
much.
about Holland, which is random tangent, is just because I guess like it's an hour show in Holland, so they cut out a lot. Literally, the judging is my favorite thing about Holland because it's like 2 minutes long. Literally,
Amazing.
they say like one tiny thing about each girl, and they're kind of like bitchy to each other, and that's it.
Amazing.
And I'm like, why can't every episode be like this?
I think
Yeah.
that's why we kind of liked Resurrection.
Yeah.
Because like it was mostly about the performers.
Yeah.
That's
There was like some petty drama, and it was awkward. Like they'd just be like, "I'm that bitch."
Yeah.
No, I'm that bitch. It's like, y'all are in like different states right now, but okay. But I think you and Shanita would be great on Dragula. So
Yeah,
well,
Shanita.
Shanita's in LA already. So
yeah.
halfway there.
Yeah.
Future season 4-5 winner Shanita Bone.
Yeah.
Calling it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But I would definitely I would consider it in the future. Like it's definitely like not. It's definitely an option in my life depending on where my career goes. It just I don't know if like reality TV is
Yeah.
what I can.
So Camp Watakiki's also out.
No.
Honestly, that would be
I think
hilarious.
you'd be great on Camp Watakiki. I should have asked you about getting on Camp Watakiki.
I
Are
would,
they still filming? I just
I
want to
don't
know what's
know.
going
I
on.
don't know.
but that was cute. I could see being stupid on that.
Yeah.
We shit on Camp Wanakiki a lot, but I think it's actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've only seen the episodes with you and Jake Johnson.
Yeah, that was
so.
good though.
Oh my God.
It was fun.
Do you have any future projects coming out? I guess in November,
November, December.
December.
Yes. So November. Well, actually, I'm not sure when the show is, but I'm working on Hollow Eve's show.
Speaking of Dragula.
I think it'll probably be early December. Is probably because I'm not sure though. I need to talk to them. Do want to kind of maybe produce a digital thing maybe for my birthday, which would be around that same time too. We'll see what like the world is shaped
Yeah,
out to be.
if the
But I
world's
do
over.
but I do want to do some kind of like digital producing thing, because that was actually going back to pre-COVID life. I wanted to start producing this year. That was like one of my major goals, but of course, the world had different intentions.
Honestly, I think producing a digital show might be a lot easier than
Yeah.
producing a live show.
Yeah.
Because they could just like give you the pre-filmed whatever,
Yeah.
whenever.
So yeah, I think that in the maybe not too distant future, maybe you'll see a Linda production.
That'd be
at some
great.
point.
Maybe you could be on WERRRK.com
Yeah.
because they've been expanding their YouTube.
Oh.
Go follow WERRRK.
Okay.
We're on there.
I think I do already. Yeah.
It's with 3 R's, right?
What?
Work. WERRRK.
Yeah, it says WERRRR. Yes.
3
Okay.
R's.
Follow their YouTube because we're on their YouTube.
Just know that if you do a digital show, I will be crashing it.
I mean, if you're not in
I will
the
not
show,
be.
that'd
I will
kinda
not be
weird.
invited. I will crash it.
I mean, I'm here for that.
Maybe Crash Land.
Yeah. Ooh.
Wink, wink,
Wink.
wink. On
Okay.
themes. You'll see. You'll see.
Okay. Well, we can look forward to that. What is the best advice you've been given about drag or just performing in general, I think?
I need to think about this.
Again, I always say quit. Just quit.
Also, it could be more than one thing. It doesn't have to be one thing.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever gotten advice.
Or like something you've like picked up from watching other people.
Jeez.
Nothing.
this is-
I've learned nothing.
No, it's just like it's hard for me to because I feel like I've learned so much. It's hard to like
Pin it down.
yeah.
Maybe something practical.
I would say like what I was talking about with like my advice is sort of just like try shit. Like part of being in Brooklyn nightlife is sort of just seeing, you know, all different kinds of people perform and try shit, and a lot of it doesn't land, and but it's okay because like you learn from that. I would say also paying attention to other kinds of performance. Like I feel like I've learned so much, not just from seeing like drag shows, but seeing like comedy shows, seeing like seeing music shows, like what different performers bring to the table in terms of energy, in terms of what the audience responds to, in terms of like confident. I guess that is a thing, is like you can like be a mess behind the stage or whatever like in life, but like sort of work yourself into convincing yourself on stage, like being in the moment. Like I kind of compare performing to like casting spells or like rituals, because I feel like you're going into a different mental state and sort of like going with that. So yeah, I guess performing with conviction when you're on stage, even if you don't believe in yourself when you're off stage.
That's some good advice.
Yeah. I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know, just trying shit, being messy. I don't know.
Be a messy queen, carry everything, and start Twitter drama for no reason.
Yeah. I'm definitely
That's
gonna
you.
like I'm definitely gonna think of a better answer this like a week from now.
That's okay. Martyr is
Like,
right here.
I live with you.
Literally,
so
you could just like record it, and we'll just insert
it'll
it
be in
into the
post.
episode.
It'll be fine. It'll be completely seamless.
Yeah.
So it's time for my favorite question.
It's Martyr's one question. Of the
I asked more
episode.
questions
I
this
know
time.
You did. Today you did.
What is the craziest thing, experience, or what have you that you've seen in nightlife or were a part of in nightlife? Something that shook your core.
Ooh.
And if it's really damning, please use aliases.
Yeah, it's like gonna get someone arrested.
I would actually also say that night at Miss BK when Cheeky douched live on stage. That was a lot. And I will never forget that.
Yeah.
That was a whole...
I think she had a spoken word beforehand, and then she went into Let the Rain Fall Down.
And they used like Two Girls, One Cup like music
Oh,
in
did
the
they?
background.
Icon.
Yeah.
And Let the Rain Fall Down, and she had a little kiddie pool, and she douched live on stage.
Yeah.
Good for her.
And it was one of two douching performances that year.
Yeah.
The other one was at Metropolitan with Pepto-Bismol, who douched waffle mix into a waffle iron and then ate it.
Oh,
Yeah, there might have been
good for them.
chocolate chips in there, and that's all I'll do. That's all I'll say.
Good old Metropolitan.
boy, that stage has seen a
Smells
lot.
like bleach for a reason.
Hey, they're they're adding bathrooms.
Oh my god. I would also say, I know we keep on bringing her up, but like everything Shanita does always gags me.
Yeah.
taking sausage out of her pussy.
remember that.
Eating a goldfish lie.
I don't remember that. I remember hearing about that.
I think she shat on stage once.
Really? Like real shit?
I think it was like kitty litter. I didn't see
Work.
it, but I've heard about it, and it's just pretty iconic.
And then she was a serial killer, and she twerked with a bowl of cereal on her back.
Oh my God,
That was
yes.
iconic.
Yeah.
Dressed as the Scream Killer.
Yeah. She's like the embodiment of Halloween.
Yeah.
I guess next year that'll be our guest.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get her.
Also, like, not drag per se, but performance art. One of the photographers I work with, Eli Schmidt, he works also with this really amazing performance artist, Rose Wood, and her stuff is super visceral and intense and like real like mutilation and like it's it's wild and makes you queasy. And if it makes you queasy, then it's doing something. Actually, that also reminds me of another
So many stories.
another performance that made me queasy. I don't remember their names. It was like a couple.
Was it a queen?
I think their names was like Mars. Fuck, I don't remember her name. But that was another moment. It's gonna kill me. I'll remember their name at some point. But it was at, I think, was it called like Love Gun? Back in like 2015, where one of them sewed the other's cunt up live on stage for real, and I literally like almost fainted.
How does that even work?
It was like they had like needles, and it was intense. It's very funny because I love spooky stuff. I love the macabre, but I also am very squeamish and a scaredy cat at the same time too.
I mean, yeah.
Linda hates when I do finger guns at her.
Guns are scary. But I love like the whole concept of like blood and stuff and guts is like doesn't gross me out conceptually, but if I see real blood IRL, I will literally faint. Like it's not even a joke.
Good thing you don't live in LA because a lot of the spooky queens, they all do that.
Ugh.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. But yeah, anything that viscerally, like if I get viscerally nauseous, I feel like that's like you're doing something right. And all those people that I've mentioned have done that.
Cursed.
Martyr is gonna have to like bless this episode.
I feel so bad. I don't remember their names. I remember one of their names, Mars. I don't remember her name.
I'll add it later.
Yeah.
No big-
Mars, I know, does like tattoo work now.
Oh.
And was in a really cool short film that Untitled was also in. That was like very
Oh.
Giallo-esque, which was really cool.
I think I know what you're talking
Yeah.
All right, last question. Where do you want to take your drag in the future?
Ooh, this is actually really good because I've been thinking a lot about this during quarantine. You know, it's very uncertain about like our status with like live performing. So I definitely, you know, making digital work, I definitely want to get back more into video making. And I think video, I can see myself delving into that more. I don't really know what that might look like. I'm trying to figure that out. Like, do I start a YouTube channel? Do I make other people's videos? Is that something I'm capable of like
Definitely.
Yeah, I've been thinking about going back to school for filmmaking or
You don't need to go to school. As someone with
Yeah,
a
I know.
degree in film, don't do it.
yeah, that's also
You can learn everything online,
Yeah.
and you don't have to waste your time.
that was also like I think I just want to take either like some online classes or just like
Do it
look
online.
up because unless like I get paid to like go to Germany or something. But I don't think that's gonna
Skillshare
happen.
sponsor code.
Get me out of this country to get a master's, and
Even
but
there.
that's probably not gonna happen. But
You can learn everything online.
Yeah.
Also, you learn as you do, because like I got my degree like 10 years ago, and
Yeah.
you know technology changes, and
Yeah.
like it's so much easier today to edit than it was when I was doing things, because they only let you do Final Cut Pro, and it's like very like old school, like
Final Cut sucks.
it's horrible.
that's
But
the
like
only editing
once
work
you
I
learn
know.
Final Cut, you can do anything. But
Yeah.
like now I do everything on iMovie, and it's the same process. It's way faster, and it's
Oh,
just like
interesting.
why
She
didn't
got iMovie. She
Yeah.
got effects.
I got a MacBook. I can't do effects. That's one thing I can't do. But like, I'm just like, wow, things have become so much easier than when I was learning. So things constantly change, even if you would have a degree in something.
Yeah, I definitely need to brush up on, because I also, me 10 years ago, I like know Final Cut like really well, but like it's like I
It's
was editing
hell.
stuff last night, 2 nights ago, and it took me like all night to like render videos. Like there's
Yeah.
an easier, like I know.
Do iMovie, girl.
Yeah.
I think that might be because your computer's old.
No, like Premiere, for instance, it doesn't have that same
that's
render issue.
Everyone just steal Premiere. There's ways.
No, yeah, because I worked on a TV show locally, and like everything's Premiere. That's
Yeah.
what they always recommend.
Premiere's
But I
pretty
recommend
easy.
iMovie because you can even do it on your phone. Like
Oh, that's good to know.
you don't like
Yeah.
you don't need super advanced stuff to do simple cuts and edits and whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to do effects, that's different. I don't
Yeah.
do any effects, so
What is that? After Effects?
I don't do any of them.
Yeah, I haven't played around with that, but
But like, you can YouTube anything.
Yep.
Just YouTube it.
And also, like, I'm also thinking about like my practice outside of necessarily drag. Like, is like what, like, I'll always like Linda will always be like a part. Like, I'll always be Linda, but like, does my craft like go beyond that? Like, where, like, I'm just feel like I'm in a gestation stage right now and sort of figuring stuff out.
she's in her craft legacy.
Yeah.
Streaming
Craft
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 singles
mac and cheese.
legacy.
streaming on streaming devices October 30th. Thank you. That was our plug.
But we'll see. Like,
I mean, quarantine's a good time. Everyone's reassessing their life. I know
Yeah.
I am. So
yeah,
this is the time.
yeah.
Now is the time. Now is the best time. No,
For
no
one
okay.
thing that like you know that I've definitely like come to realize though is like sustainability with your craft. Like before, like it's so fucked up because like so many of us in nightlife, you know, we would make a living off of this, or it would be part of our. Like I didn't do it full time, but it definitely like helped, especially now. Like during Halloween time, I would make a lot of money off of it, but even then, it was like the hustle of it was so unsustainable, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
COVID sort of like really like, nope, like,
Yeah,
like you're
no.
like it's like really not sustainable. So you kind of have to figure out, well, what is next, or how can I transform this into something else, or yeah. So a lot of questions, a lot of thinking.
I think
We'll
we're
see.
all in the same boat.
Yeah.
I know. I certainly am.
Well, thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you.
Someone
Thank
I
you for
see
having
literally
me.
every day. But thank you so much for coming on our show. Where can the kids find you on the internet?
Everything is just Linda Felcher, at Linda Felcher, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Although there'll be more content on YouTube soon.
OnlyFans.
Actually, yes, but like, yes, but like, I don't really know what I have an account, but I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. I had ideas.
This
I don't
is the
know.
glory hole.
Yeah.
Top 95% OnlyFans.
Yeah, everyone's the top 5%
Oh, you know why?
because they like make a million categories.
No. Okay. I was talking to DeVoe about this today. So OnlyFans registers everyone as a user or like as a content creator when you have an account. So basically, if you're not making content and you're just viewing other people's content, like other stuff, that you're still a content creator. So like people that are actually like getting subscribers and making
Yeah.
money, like that's why they're the top percent because like everybody
Everyone
else
else
is just watching them.
Yeah, they're not doing it. That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's a weird setup.
OnlyFans,
but-
yes.
Anyways, that's our sex worker talk of the day. But yay. Well,
Maybe cookbook. Maybe
cookbook. Oh yeah, you've talked about doing that.
A
I do love
cookbook, or like,
food.
is that an app that I don't know? Because these days I don't freaking know anymore.
Linda's
Is that
threatened
a
to have a
sex app I
mukbang
don't
in the
know
shower
about?
today, and
Mukbang shower combination. That'll be my.
sounds super cursed, super blurst. But thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for being our spooky ooky.
Spooky Ooky Kooky
guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yay. Well, I'm Martyr.
I'm C Tepper.
And this was Wigging Out! Bye.
I'm C Tepper. You can follow me on Instagram at CTEPPER and read my book, The State of Drag, where I interviewed 175 drag queens from around the world. All proceeds go to charity on Amazon.com.
Ooh, I love that. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Drag the Martyr. And if you have any thoughts, comments, dick pics, send them to dragthemartyr@gmail.com.
Listen, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Pandora.
And catch up with past episodes on WERRRK.com. That's WERRRK.com. Artwork for Wigging Out was provided by Glitter Baby Online. That's Glitter Baby Online. Thank you.